Now, if you're like me, you spend a majority of your workday working inside an enclosed space, kind of like this one. Maybe you have a home office, maybe you work in a corporate office, or maybe you're just in an area where there's little to no access to fresh air. What's interesting is we're willing to invest in our health inside of those workplaces through things like standing desks, expensive ergonomic chairs, butt toning shoes. But few, if any of us, take the time to understand or invest in the quality of the air that we put into our lungs every single day. And because of this, you, your family, maybe even your employees are missing out on 4 surprising benefits to improved indoor air quality, one of which may shock you. Hi, I'm Joe from Everest Microbial Defense, and let's just jump right into this video. The first benefit to improved indoor air quality is improved sleep. Do you struggle falling or even staying asleep at night? The National Library of Medicine posted a multi-university study which examined the relationship of air pollution exposure and reported an overall adverse effect of various pollutants on sleep. And this isn't just the air in the room in which you sleep, this is the air that you've been breathing throughout the day, the air in the workplace, or even the air in your own home. Next up on the list is productivity. We can look at the Aliso Canyon gas leak of 2015. Now, if you remember, this was one of the largest gas leaks in US history, where a pipe burst and released a bunch of methane gas out into the air. Schools in the area responded by rushing in to filter the air in the classrooms. But what they didn't realize was that by the time they put in the filters, all the methane gas had gone up into the sky and was no longer really posing a threat inside the classrooms. The filters were only filtering out normal levels of pollutants out of the air. But what they found was very interesting. The test scores in the schools that received the air filters were considerably higher than the schools that didn't receive air filters outside the radius that they were concerned about. If you want to see this study for yourself, it's a pretty interesting read, and I'll link it down in the description below. This next tip is for business owners, and it's around increasing profits by reducing costs associated with absenteeism. Now, if you're not a business owner, don't go anywhere. The tip after this one is a shocker, and I promise you, you're going to be able to benefit from it. The EPA cited a study where it's estimated that $150 billion annually, yes, that's billion with a B, was spent on illness-related costs due to poor indoor air quality. And $93 billion of that, again with a B, is related to loss in productivity because of headache and fatigue caused by sick building syndrome. Now, sick building syndrome is kind of a health phenomenon that happens when breathing poor indoor air leads to flu-like symptoms that tend to dissipate the moment you leave the office. So really, all that's happening is you're losing productivity because you feel terrible while you're working. All of these costs have been measured, and I'll link the studies down in the description below. Okay, now for the big one, and that is improved indoor air quality can help lead to weight loss, more specifically fat loss. Are you doing everything right? You're eating healthy, you're exercising, but you're just not able to lose fat? Well, that could be due to the quality of the air that you're breathing. In 2010, a study was done on mice. This was a 10-week-long study in which one group of mice was exposed to poor air quality and the other group was exposed to clean filtered air. Between both groups, diet was the same and exercise was the same, but after 10 weeks, the fat cells inside these mice were 20% larger than the fat cells in the mice that were breathing clean filtered air. What we know is that prolonged exposure to poor indoor air quality disrupts our body's normal metabolic function. It disrupts our ability to regulate blood sugar in the form of glucose. It disrupts our body's ability to create insulin. And in some cases, this can even lead to diabetes. So what do? How do we improve our indoor air quality? There's a couple things you can do around your home that will help with this, like using the vent fan when you cook, always having a well-ventilated space when you're painting, make sure you regularly vacuum your carpets. But when it comes to improving indoor air quality, one of the most important things you can do is to open the windows. According to the EPA, indoor air pollutants are 2 to 5 times and sometimes 100 times that of what you find outside. Now, this isn't always practical. What do you do about opening your windows in the wintertime? What if it's loud outside? Or what if your windows just simply don't open, like if you're in an office space? My number one piece of advice to you is to invest in your indoor air quality through air purification. If you work from home in a small office like this one, or even if you work in an office, maybe a corporate office where you have your own space, get yourself an air purifier. Air purifiers range in size, they range in price, but the most important thing when choosing an air purifier is making sure it has the right filter. Now, when it comes to air pollutants, 2.5 microns and below are the ones that are the most dangerous. They're the ones that when we breathe them in, they can get into our lungs and pass into the bloodstream, and sometimes they can even get into the brain. You've probably heard of a HEPA filter. HEPA filters can filter out anything down to 0.3 microns in size. Everest even has a brand of sub-micron air filters known as the Peak Performance Air Filters. They can filter out particles as little as 0.1 micron in size and are far less expensive than a traditional HEPA filter. We've even gone so far to make sure that they're compatible with the list of our favorite air purifiers, of which I'll link down in the description below. Do you work in a corporate office? You may even be able to expense one. So go talk to your boss. Show them this video. Or maybe you are the boss. Maybe you do own a business. Well, we have a solution for you known as the Peak Health Advantage system. The Peak Health Advantage outfits your entire facility with sub-micron air filtration and antimicrobial surface protection. We can even provide proof to show how well your indoor air quality and surface protection has improved over time. Head over to peakhealthadvantage.com to learn more and get a complimentary consultation from one of our professionals. Look, just because you can't see it doesn't mean you shouldn't pay attention to it. And if you can see it, then you definitely need to be paying attention to it. We hope you learned something today. And if so, be sure to drop us a like, hit the subscribe button, and check out some of these other videos over here to help you live just a little bit healthier. We'll see you in the next one.